Last week. Welcome. This is the last week of the project. I've been shooting 21 rolls with this camera. This is my Leica M3 and I'm using my 28 Summicron and I'm shooting some T-Max P3200 as my sole film, and I've been using this for, by this moment, 3 weeks. So this is the last video in which I'm talking about the rolls. I'm gonna show you the images and then I'm gonna just talk a little bit about how it's all been. So let's go. So today is it's not rainy, but there's a lot of clouds out there. I'm not motivated to do this. I really don't want to do it, but I have to do it. It's part of the project. I'm on the roll number 15. I'm on roll number 15. And I've been unmotivated since roll number 3. But now that I'm on 15, I feel like it's not so far away, like the end goal is not that far. And at the same time, I remember the feeling of being on roll number 2 or 3 and be like, oh my God, this thing is just starting. I wonder how will it feel to be on roll number, I don't know, 12 or 15. And now that I'm in roll 15, it's like, okay, this is how it feels. It feels like being not that far away from the goal, but it feels like it still feels like I'm not even close, but at the same time, I am way closer than what I was before. So yeah, that's how it is. I'm not super excited about going out and shoot, because I have to go shoot and then go back to Fran's office, edit a video. I have some other stuff to do, and this act of shooting a roll of film in a whole day, a whole roll of film in a day, is just, it cuts through my whole schedule of other things. So I'm trying to be as consistent as possible in doing this, but it's really tiring and it's not exciting anymore. But I'm just blowing this. I'm recording this so just to leave an impression and for you to know that I am not motivated. This is not fun, but I have to endure it. That's the only way of finishing a project. Just going through and pushing through and grind the whole thing until it's done. That's what I'm gonna do. Yay. The third week was a very good week. It was a very good week. Well, first of all, I'm not gonna show you 30 images. There's gonna be 40 images because I just nailed more images on the last week. That's something that happened. It started happening for several reasons. One, I had developed the rolls from the last week so I could see what was working and what was not working. I could see what was an interesting thing and what was not interesting. I could correct my process while the process was happening. So that's something that is not trivial, is not unimportant, is actually, I think it's vital for this kind of project. So by the fourth week, I was more comfortable doing this. I was also really tired. And by week 3, I was just absolutely destroyed, tired. I would go to bed with my feet would hurt because I've been walking all day, like 6 hours straight walking through Manhattan. It was an intense process. It was really intense, and I wouldn't label it as fun. I would label it as intense and as a proper work. This was a month of proper work, going outside and taking pictures. Something that happened during this month was that I was now able to take pictures outside of not holding the camera to my face. So I would do the hyperfocal and say like, okay, 2 meters, f8, that's good. And I'll see something and I could either take a picture like this, like I will calculate everything. Okay, I just see something and be like, okay, and just keep walking. But the thing that started happening was that I've been using the camera for so long that I could now focus like this, which was unprecedented to me. Of course, people who shoot a lot, who are street photographers or like professional street photographers, if you will, they could do this with ease. But I hate taking pictures in portrait mode, and I've never been able to take pictures by hyper-focusing or like guesstimate the distances and in portrait mode without looking through the viewfinder. That's impossible to me. So when I did it the first time, I just pre-focused, I saw something and I was like, and I said, man, that's not gonna work. I'm pretty sure this is not gonna work. I just messed up a frame, but I didn't. That's one thing that started happening. I was able to control the camera in a much more precise way. My fingers knew exactly the distances. So I knew exactly how much is like 1 meter, 1.5 meters, 3 meters. So I could be walking and then something interesting happened and I knew how far it was and my finger will pre-focus for me and I would just turn around, take a picture and keep walking. So using the camera is like learning how to play an instrument. If you see somebody shredding on guitar and like making scales like really fast, you wouldn't say like, oh, can you give me a trick so I can do that too? I want to do those things like you do. It's muscle memory. Like controlling a camera and free focusing or focusing really fast is muscle memory. So this is like playing a guitar. And I was able to play kind of okay, but one of my goals for this month was to actually be able to play really well, or not taking the best images, but learning how to operate the camera at a really high level requires to spend countless hours using it. So I was able to, guesstimate the distances just by knowing where the finger is. Like this should be 1.2. It's exactly 1.2. That's muscle memory. I just know where things are because I've been using the camera for so long. So I would just see something and say, okay, that's 3 meters, and then just take an image and that'll be it. So that started happening. I was more connected with the camera. At the same time, I was already tired. I was not motivated at all to go outside and keep taking pictures. But motivation is not really an issue on personal projects. I have a video about it in which I talk about how to make personal projects or how do I approach those personal projects. I think if I don't focus myself on having a good time, but just on doing the things that I need to do, things work out better in general. So it wasn't about having fun, it was about getting better at what I do and just crafting the best images that I could in those 21 days. And feeling how going out and taking pictures every single day feels like going out on the street and be like a street photographer for a month, like a real one. Not just for a YouTube video once a week or once every 2 weeks and like take some pictures on the street and capture certain moments and have 1 or 2 good shots and that's it. No, this was like I'm gonna go out and take 36 pictures and I'm just gonna do the same, and the day after I'm gonna do the same and another 36 and another 36, like until this is done. It's so tiring. Like I know I keep repeating myself because I'm saying this, but it was a really tiresome process. Going outside and shooting 21 rolls is super tiring. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I had the experience. I'm super proud of some of the images that I captured. But I'm also aware that I'm not sure I can spend another month doing something like this. I have so much stuff to do, and focusing solely on taking pictures for a month it's a little bit too much. So I guess one of the lessons that I got from this was it's important to train and get to know your tools. I think the one lens, one camera setup is absolutely the best way to make anything happen if you want to learn how to operate your camera, because you're forced to do it and to just have one limited setup. For me, the idea is the setup will determine the content that I create. So if I'm using the 28 Summicron and I'm using the Leica M3 and I'm using the T-Max 3200, there's a certain kind of images that will come out of that combo. Like there's certain images that I will not be able to craft with that combo. So the images will respond to the nature of the borders, the logical or material borders of the project that I'm presenting. So this project in particular has the borders of being a street project, and probably I knew there was not gonna be like sports images or nature images or macro images, or like it's gonna be mostly portraits up close, or up close I mean like at 1 or 1.2 meters or 3.5 feet away from somebody. That's like mostly what's gonna happen. I'm going to be on the streets, I'm going to be taking these kind of pictures, so the images will come out more or less like this, and this is the shape of the project. I'm not sure I'm going to do something like this again. It's too much work. I enjoy taking pictures outside, and I feel like after this I unlocked something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to control the camera better. I wanted to have a better relationship with myself while taking pictures. I wanted to feel comfortable with the photography that I was creating, and I feel like those things have been achieved. But I don't think I'm gonna go out and take another project like this. It's too intense, but I'm happy I did it. I'm super happy, and I love the results, so I'm proud of that. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you so much for sticking by. I hope you enjoy this. It's been an intense project. It's been an intense 3 weeks, but the images I think are pretty cool. So I hope you enjoy them. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you pretty soon. Not with another project like this though, not with something so big, but I'm gonna go back to my regular schedule and show you things that I've been doing. Right now it's July and I'm in Chile, and I'm touring with Tenemos Explosivos, which is the band in which I sing. We're touring through Chile and Argentina, and then I'll go back to New York in August, and I'll be there, and I'll keep posting things in the beautiful and super hot summer of New York. So I guess I'll see you by then, and until then, just keep shooting, guys. Thank you so much to my patrons, because they really support the channel during this whole time. I was telling them what I was doing, and they helped me, and they basically funded this project. Thank you so much to my patrons. Like, I really, really, really appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you so much, and I guess that's it. Thanks, and I'll see you pretty soon. Bye, guys.